thank you so much for being on this call. This is like, gosh, our fourth call for this group, I believe. And I just want to hear from you guys and see how you're doing, how you're kind of assessing. I've spoken to some of you like individually anyway, but just, hey, Laura. So we're just going to talk about like where we're at right now in the process now that we're several weeks in, and then also as we head into Easter weekend and just talking about like we're going to come up on these things. You're going to have family gatherings. We talked about it a little bit on the last call, and just being prepared and like being ready for whatever, right? So just I guess at this point I want to talk about like just what's going on with you guys, and let me know a couple things. First of all, what you really like about the program so far, and what are some things that maybe you don't care for or maybe aren't sinking in yet, or maybe you want to review. Like, let's do a little bit of positive, negative feedback, see what's going on, if you would recommend it to other people. Whoever wants to start talking first.
I think it's interesting. So I have a spreadsheet because I'm a numbers person, so I do everything in Excel. And I send it to my sister, my meal plan every week. And she, like the first week I sent it to her, it completely overwhelmed her. She's like, I just don't understand how you can follow this. So that kind of made me like question, am I doing it right? But you know what, I've found over the past, 2 or 3 weeks that it's gotten so much easier to, fill out my plan for the week and know kind of what I want to eat, what falls into each category. So, I mean, I would definitely recommend it. Yes, it's stressful at first to just kind of try and figure out, when you're going to eat what. But I find the more I go through it, the less anxious, I guess you could say, I am about it. So, yeah, that's my take.
I think anything when you first do it is overwhelming. So that's a normal, natural reaction. I know when I first got into anything with Beachbody, I was like, holy crap, that's not enough food. First of all, I eat a lot of food. That's not enough food. And as you get into it, you realize like it gets a little bit easier. But I get that. I mean, we were all overwhelmed. I think we're like, oh my gosh, there's like 30 videos we got to watch and all this stuff. So that's a normal reaction. That's why we like take one bite at a time, right? But I don't know. I think it's a valid point. There's a lot of information, and looking straight at a meal plan with all these different colors, you're like, what in the world is that? But she also probably didn't watch the videos yet, right?
No, and I think she's done the containers with me before. So she has a good understanding of what they are, and she's actually doing the workouts with me. So it's kind of good too.
I love that.
She's dabbling in it a little bit. So.
That's like, she's got like a little gateway drug going. She might go all in. Let's see. All right, who else?
For me, we did the countdown to competition before the ultimate portion fix, so I gained a little bit, like we had talked about before starting this. But now I'm back. I'm down 2 pounds from that gain, and I've lost inches. I'm down 2 pant sizes. I've gone on outings and been able to maintain the way I eat, which wasn't too bad. I was nervous at first, thinking, that I was going to overeat, but it was okay. But the exercises, some of them, of course, I can't do, but for most of them, I do them. But I enjoy getting up and doing those first thing in the morning. It kind of makes my day start out better. And eating the recipes aren't bad. I've eaten things and tried things I've not ever had before, and they're tasty. What else? I guess that's about it.
I've noticed that too, that you have gone on several day trips and you've been able to maintain, and that's says a lot. Like, I think a lot of people get nervous about going out to eat because you're not in full control. And, you know, she talks about it in the videos too. Like, you just have to do the best you can. We went out to eat tonight. This is Mia's gotcha day. So we let her pick. And it's so funny because most of my friends who are in our travel group, their Chinese kids want Chinese food. They want dumplings, they want noodles, they want all that stuff. And I asked Mia where she wanted to go, and she goes, Chili's. And I was like, Chinese? And she goes, no, Chili's. So we went to Chili's. And I was like, well, that's not okay, well, whatever. So, but they do have, like, most restaurants have a lighter menu, so you can at least see that they're on the lighter side of the calories, and then they're usually not using all the extra, like, tons of butter and stuff. They may still have some things on there, but I picked from the lighter menu like I typically do, and something that had, you know, it was just like chicken and rice and broccoli, and it had like a mango salsa on it. And John actually picked the same thing. So he's probably going to be eating out of the tortilla chip bag later, but, like, you know, so kind of setting the tone for the family too. But I do like exercising in the morning is great too, because then you only have to take one shower. That's awesome. So kudos to you for getting up early. But no, seriously, 2 pant sizes is amazing. And we knew, like, we would gain a little back, and we both did, and we're both on the right track now. So I'm really, really proud of you. I think you're doing great.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I'm sorry, I muted myself. Laura, are you give us your assessment at this point?
Well, I have been trying to pack food with me when I know I'm going to be gone longer than away from home to eat, like I did today. I packed some food with me. It's just, I kind of feel like this is still new to me. I did a little bit of the containers for the first time a year ago with 80-day obsession and all that stuff. But the way Autumn is explaining things, it's all new to me still. And so I feel like I'm still learning how to do all this stuff. And I think I wouldn't say it's a weakness. It's not, and it's not something that I personally, I can do it, but I think due to my work schedule, I think the hardest thing I'm trying to get worked out is making those dishes out of the Fix8 cookbooks. I mean, I've got some in mind I want to make, but getting the free time to do it is what is hard. And I think that's going to be my hardest right now, is making dishes. So I'm trying to pick foods off the list that are just easy, so that way I'm not tempted to go eat junk food. And obviously I do feel better. As far as my weight, it just kind of goes up and down a little bit, but not a lot. Like, I might go up 2 or 3 pounds and I go back down. So for the most part, I'm staying at the same weight. And the exercises, I'm averaging 30 to 45 minutes a day on that. And yeah, I guess I think the biggest one that I'm really struggling with, as I'm noticing, is I'm logging things down, is my water intake. It just seems like I'm so busy, and then I don't have time to drink the water. And I've been trying to keep coming up with all these different little methods, how to remind myself when to do this and all that. And I just haven't found a decent method yet with my work schedule. Because sometimes people are home when I'm there cleaning. So, and I can't, and if they got a basement or whatever, I can't leave my phone upstairs and be downstairs cleaning and then have the alarm going off. It's just, some of this stuff I just have to try to remember. I just have to try to remember to do it. But the water intake is the biggest struggle right now, is because, like, yesterday I didn't hardly drink any water. I think maybe 25 ounces. That's not near enough. So there's my biggest struggle is the water intake. But as far as the food, I do pretty good, I think.
I think that's
So,
good though to stick with simple things, especially when you're packing them in your cooler and you've got a busy schedule and you don't have time to cook. It's okay to do the simple things. It's okay to just, you know, if you do have a minute, like cook a batch of chicken and then you can portion it out for the week or something like that. But if you don't have time and you're doing, like, you can get a rotisserie chicken or you can do the nitrate-free lunch meat, you can do your Greek yogurt and those things. I find like proteins are kind of the hardest things. Veggies and fruits you can just grab and go. Proteins is where it kind of gets a little tricky for me anyway. So if you're very aware of that and don't feel like hung up on the fixate recipes that you have to do it. It's just like a nice little, like occasionally we did a challenge like last week of doing a recipe. But if you can't do it, it's not a big deal. It's not like we're going to kick you out of the group or something. We're just trying to encourage everyone to try something new because you might find something you really love. But again, it's all like whatever is best for you and your schedule. Right now, the most important thing is getting in the containers and getting in the water so that you have enough energy because you're always moving throughout the day. So that's going to be key. However you fill those containers from the list is totally fine. You know, as long as you're using the list, then you're good to go. So the water is like my only trick. The only thing I do is I keep it in my 30-ounce bottle and I just make sure I fill it up 2 to 3 times a day, because that's not a whole lot to track like in my head 3 times a day or 2 times a day, but it's just I have a one big thing with me all the time. And as far as the alarms go, could you keep your phone on you like in a back pocket or something like that?
I don't usually have pockets on my pants. I usually don't. There's not pockets.
Okay, well that's okay. Just any other, does anybody else have any suggestions I haven't thought of that might help?
So like if I were to wear pants with pockets, I mean I could put my phone in my back pocket, you mean?
Yeah,
or
that's
maybe
what I
can
do.
actually, so like where I can actually hear the alarm going off.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, mine's in my back pocket all the time. That's just where I keep it.
Yeah.
That's another idea.
Could you keep a water bottle with you?
Yeah, that I could do.
Okay. Sarah, did you have a suggestion?
I was just gonna say, so like I have an armband that I use like if I go running, that I put my phone in, so you could always do that. Or they make these flip belts that you can wear around your waist that you can put your phone in. So those are just different ways to hold the phone.
I didn't even think of that. That's a great idea. So this is the whole reason we're getting together, like to try to help each other out and see like where can we improve. And I know it is a lot of information and I love that we're all gaining something new from the program, even if we have done containers before. I learned a lot through doing the portion fix and doing the certification and stuff. I learned a lot and I've been doing this for years. So it's okay to still be in a learning growth process because that means like we haven't arrived yet. We're all still on the journey together. So that's okay. And that's why you have access to the videos for life. So you can constantly review them. If you have a trouble area or you just like the other day, I think I posted the other day about like if you hit a plateau, there's a break in case of an emergency video. Like there's lots of resources that you can just kind of pick and choose as you need them and review them again. So, but yeah, keep your water with you. Maybe keep your phone with you. And then that way you can at least be sure to be hearing your alarms and getting your water in. And it's going to make such a difference. When you get all that water in, your energy level is going to be like, oh, much better. Yeah. All right, Shannon, tell us about your thoughts.
I guess I don't really have many thoughts today. Other than I'm gonna have to bump up brackets just because when I don't, I snack. And of course, when you snack, you don't go for the veggies. Well, I do, but they're not sitting well with my digestive system. With Levi today, after I did my workout this morning, after school, we ran to an almost 2.5 miles, and then we biked 5 miles. So I'm just more active with him, and the summer is not going to slow down. So I think I just need to bump up so I'm not snacking, but do it wisely so that I'm not just going for the carbs. I'm pretty sure my Epstein bar is flaring up, so I am much more tired.
What are you doing, Dallas?
So whenever I'm tired, of course, you go for the easy stuff. And I've slept in twice this week and taken 2 naps, but I need to do more. So, because when my Epstein bar flares up, my weight goes up too. So, just being aware of it, and how Autumn says, like, if you're not getting that 7 to 9 hours of sleep, like, that really is an issue, and just really focusing on that. So
yeah, I know sleep is not my strongest suit. I usually go to bed between 10:30 and 11. I may fall asleep on the couch before that, and so I don't know if you count that in your sleeping hours or not, or if it's just like whenever you're in bed. But like, I want to spend time with John, and it's usually like watching a show, and I fall asleep. So I don't really know exactly how many hours I get, depending on how you count it, but I get up early too, and so I know that's another area, like, I need to be more disciplined in getting to bed earlier, like actual bed, because the getting up earlier I'm not going to be able to push that back any later usually. So but I'm glad that you're listening to your body and getting the rest that you need. Keep
trying
doing that.
It's hard. I mean, when you have kids, when they're off school, even when you don't have kids, you have things you need to do. I kept telling myself, well, I'll just get up and get everything done, then I'll take a nap. Well, there's always something more to do.
Always.
So as women, I think we just have to say, you know what? If I end up having to sleep in, it's okay. I can still get it done. So that's why my workouts have been logged later this week, because I've slept until like 6 instead of getting up at 4:30.
Well, listen, I totally forgot one day until I went and it was like, you didn't log anything yesterday. I'm like, wow, great job, coach. It happens. It's all right. But yeah, your activity level, and I think that's really smart to just kind of think about, okay, maybe I'll eat up a plan and see how that works, how it works with your digestive system, if it makes you feel like better and more energy. But yeah, you're doing a lot of activity throughout the day, and I know whenever I do long runs, and that's the thing is, when I was training and doing really long runs, it's really hard to make up that calorie deficit. And I had heard Autumn say something like, somebody was asking questions about, what do I do when I'm like doing long runs or long bike rides, or how do I feel for that? And she's like, well, I don't know the specifics. Like, how long is long? Like, what does that mean? How often are you doing it? Like, there's a lot of different factors that go into it, but basically I would just eat up a plan. When I did 80-day obsession, I would go to like plan D on those days. And I couldn't eat any more food than that. Like, I just couldn't handle anymore. But it still wasn't getting me to the calories that I was depleting. So I think just you're going to play around with it a little bit. If you're going to be consistent with this much activity, then yeah, bumping up is good so that you have the right ratios. Like you're
right, because, and I think one thing to remember for me and for anybody else is that if you're not eating enough, you're actually going to gain weight because you're starving yourself. So your body's going to hold on to that instead of burning through it.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening now, is my body's just like, oh, you're feeding me, so I'm just going to hold on to this instead of efficiently using it.
Right. And it's a balance that we all have to kind of find. And that's like, I talked to somebody the other day and they're like, oh, well, but like you have such a good handle on what you need. I was like, no, this is like a journey. And I know for me, cutting out the after dinner food is the best option for me. It's just through trial and error. I know that I'm going to gain weight if I eat late at night. Like, I just know that because I've done it. So that's what this is all about. Like, we never stop learning. We start, our lives are going to change. Different things are going to come into play. And you just have to be okay with just learning about your body and how it may change over time. Your situation may change, and you just have to like kind of adapt and do a little trial and error, which is one thing I did learn from 2B. I'm finding even though we're doing this with Ultimate Portion Fix, if you've done 2B Mindset before, which several in this group have, there were still some takeaways that I got from that. Like I understand that veggies like fill you up and protein keeps you full. So, and I don't remember who I was talking to, or like, let's play around with our snacks and see if we can get our protein and veggie together so that you can stay fuller longer. Maybe it was you, Sarah.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah. So like it's things that you can take little pieces and adjust to what your needs are. Have you tried that? Did you try it today?
I did. So I switched my hard-boiled eggs from this morning to this afternoon, and I got home from work and I'm like, okay, we can eat whenever. I don't really care. I'm not hungry. So
oh, yay! That's good.
It was hard to eat my carb in the morning. Like in my head, I'm like, you can't eat that stuff that early, but I did.
Yeah, and I mean, when we did it with 2B Mindset, the idea was your body doesn't need energy at night, and that's what carbs equal energy. And they don't need energy at night because you're sleeping. Like you're not going to actually burn that off. So it just kind of sticks with you. If you do it earlier in the day, then you have the energy that's purposeful. You're giving yourself energy for the day. And then the protein to keep you fuller, that 3 o'clock window hits, like you're going to burn through carb quick and be like, I'm hungry again. But doing the egg, that's awesome. I'm so glad that worked for you. Yay!
Yeah. Well, even Autumn said, sorry, Sarah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying thanks for the suggestion.
Oh, sure.
Autumn had said in one of the videos how to try to finish your carb by 5 p.m. if you can. Like if you only have so many carbs, like I have on plan B, you have 3 carbs. So if I can get them done before 5 p.m., it means my dinner probably won't have a carb. It's going to be veggies and protein, which is a 2B mindset. Like that's how their plated thing is. So you can definitely use both. Use the containers to measure your food, but it's the same idea, carb load earlier in the day versus later in the day.
Now, I did save a carb for dinner last night because we had breakfast for dinner, and I wanted my homemade pancake. Just saying. Yeah. So I did, and it was delicious. And then I had another pancake for breakfast this morning, so that's good. But all right, so that's the weekend is coming up, and we're gonna be. I'm personally traveling and eating out at least once. And my aunt is cooking dinner another time. So I'm already like thinking about, okay, I got to pack the car. I got to pack my snacks and snacks for the kids, because that's the worst is when you're stuck on the road and you have nothing to eat and you're like, ah. So I'm going to be like Laura and grab my cooler, and we're going to shove it full of food that's good. And, just making good choices throughout the day that when it's out of your control, you can do the best that you can. So I can't control everything at the restaurant that we're going to be at. And my aunt's house is probably going to have some of the traditional goodies as well as really healthy organic stuff. So got to pick and choose there. But that's kind of my mindset going into the weekend is like, just got to be intentional and think about it ahead of time. Or I know for me, I eat one treat and then they're still sitting there and I'm like, another one, and then another one. And I know that about myself. So this is my accountability to you guys right here and there. Okay, I'm going to be good. Anybody else have any ideas, thoughts about the weekend or anything that you're preparing for? Or
we go to brunch with my in-laws on Easter, and it's so hard, to just eat healthy Easter brunch because it's just full of not good stuff. Let's just put it that way. And it's expensive, so it's like you almost, in my mindset, I'm like, well, I don't want to waste the money. But yeah, that's my goal, is to really eat, try and make good choices there. And then we have to do a picnic with my family, so it'll be a long day.
Yeah. So is the brunch is it an order, everybody orders what they want, or is it more like a buffet kind of deal?
It's a buffet brunch.
Okay.
Yeah. We went there last year, so I'm trying to remember, I know they had a salad bar. I'm trying to remember what type of meat and stuff they had. So, just make healthy choices, but also have grace with the holiday too. So
On the cruise, we had a buffet for like breakfast and lunch and stuff. And I found that if I did hard-boiled eggs, then I knew that they were actual eggs, first of all, because usually scrambled eggs on a buffet are not actually eggs at all. And oatmeal, like, is a great carb that fills you up. So those, like, if I did hard-boiled eggs and oatmeal and then like some fruit or something like that, it actually filled me up better than having waffles and like whatever yogurt they have up there and stuff like that. So maybe just go ahead and think about what makes you full so that you can just like sip your coffee with everybody else when you're done and, you know, kind of keep it in moderation. You're my coffee girl too, right?
no, I don't drink coffee.
Oh, crap.
Only in like the Starbucks, like, well, I drink it in my shake, but I just put like a packet in.
Okay, well then sip your tea or hot water.
Or water, right?
Well, I am cooking. We're not actually going anywhere and no one's coming here, but we're doing a beef roast for Easter dinner, not lunch. I'm not getting up early to put a beef roast in the crock pot. So we're doing it for dinner, but I am making the Fixate no-bake blueberry pies because Levi requested them. So he's going to help me prep them on Saturday because you have to prep them a day ahead of time. And I know that it's like half a purple and 1.5 yellows. And so in the pot roast, instead of using potatoes, we're going to do turnips or rutabaga. So just switching out that carb for the veggie, knowing we're going to get the carb on the dessert side. So trying to make some of those healthier options. I'm wondering if I can freeze those because it makes 12 and there's just 3 of us. So I'm like, what are we going to do with 12 of these blueberry things? But we'll see.
I would think you can freeze them. I don't know why you couldn't. I mean, they're just little.
Well, I thought if I could at least freeze half of them. Yeah, if I could freeze half of them, then we could have some Sunday and maybe some Monday. Yeah, I could take them to the neighbors. They're used to be pawning food off on them, so that might work. That's what we're doing for Easter. So.
That's what I did with Christmas cookies, man. I was like, hey, Merry Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. That's what we're doing, so.
Cool. I like that. Anyone else? All right, well, we are getting low on our time, so I just wanted to touch base with you guys, and I'm so glad we did because we can kind of troubleshoot a little bit and see how we can adjust things going forward because, like, and hopefully this will help anybody else that watches it, give you some ideas and things like that because we have one more week officially in this group. And so that will be through next week. I actually started to post the wrong thing saying that it was over after Sunday, but it's not. We have one more week officially in this group. And then what I'm going to do is start the group over for new people because we still have a lot of people that are interested in doing the program from start to finish. So if any of you want to do actually go through the group again like a newbie and watch the videos again and you just feel like you need a refresher, and this is for like anybody watching the video, if you feel like you need a refresher on Ultimate Portion Fix and you just want to go through it again, it's totally open to you guys because you have all the materials that you need. And then otherwise we're also going to have our Spring into Health group, so that will be our general group, but it's still going to have a good focus on the containers. And I know I have some 2B people that will be in that group as well because it's just a general group, but the things that I'm doing to set it up, and I'm already working on prep week and everything for it, is really going to be focused in on spring cleaning our nutrition, spring cleaning our fitness and our health, and just like everything in general. So that's going to be the group. It's going to start prep on Monday, but you guys can jump into it because you've already gone through prep weeks and stuff. So we will make our decision as far as our test group people here on the 28th is the following Sunday. It will be our last day of this group, and then you can transition into another group. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that we still have one more week of this group. You can restart with Ultimate Portion Fix again, or you can go into the general group and just continue on doing what you're doing, and we're still going to support you, and we're still going to have the same like type of content, just kind of geared towards spring cleaning our health. So that's it. But thank you guys for being on this call. I really appreciate all of you. Anything else?
Autumn did a post today about the workouts. So 21 Day Fix ends on Sunday. She said, don't forget yoga. Don't do yoga. But 21 Day Fix Extreme doesn't start till the 29th. So she said for the week in between, don't not do a workout, like do something. So whether like I'm going to do my doubles week next week, because I just thought I was going to have more time and hopefully more energy. But she said, go through just another week of the 21 Day Fix, just pick a week and go through it, or, do a little obsessed, or do something, like take one rest day, maybe two, but like don't stop working out and don't stop your nutrition. Like just because you finish that workout program, don't stop it. So
thank you for mentioning that, because I totally forgot. Yeah, this coming week is an off week. I'm actually a little behind on the live workouts, and I don't know if it just happened because of running or what, because I've been working out every day, but somehow I'm behind. So I'm going to catch up, and I'm sure like with traveling, I may have an off day on Sunday because it's Easter and I haven't had a rest day in a while. So, I'm just going to kind of catch up next week. You can do the doubles week. You can go back to week 1, whatever you want to do. And then 21 Day Fix Extreme is going to progress like this one did as well. So we're going to start off with 21 Fix Extreme week 1, and then it's going to be Fix Extreme week 2, and it's going to progress just like Fix did. So basically what you're going to end up having is 6 weeks of workouts that will just kind of grow into like the next level, which I really like they're doing that, because honestly I got kind of bored in the original programs, but they were created that way because they were on DVD, and you can't put a million workouts on a DVD. So that's why they're able to do all these different workouts now, because it's all streaming format. So thank you, Shannon, for saying that, because I forgot to mention it, and that way we'll stay on track, especially after Easter. Guys, we're going to want to get back to our workouts, whatever they are, 30 minutes of something just to get you moving. So that's the plan. So
did anybody see on the Pilates one today when Carl Deichler walked through in front of the camera, between Autumn and the camera?
I didn't.
Yeah, look for that. It's really funny.
I think I got to figure out what I'm thinking I might save that for when I'm traveling so I don't have to take weights with me. But
oh, those loops. Oh my word.
Yeah, but they're easier to travel with than weights, so.
They are. But look for Carl. He walks through.
That's funny. You never know what's going to happen, right? All right. Thank you all so much. I hope you all have a very, very happy Easter, and I will see you guys on the 28th. 28th will be our next and last call for the group. Okay? So.
Thanks.
Oh, Laura.
Happy Easter.
Uh-oh. What did you say, Laura?
I have a couple questions.
Okay.
Are you still there?
Yep, I have 3 minutes left.
Okay. First question is I've been hearing about doubles week. What is that?
It's basically
doubles week.
What they've done is to basically challenge you to even a higher level, is that you have the option of doing week 3 of 21 Day Fix and pairing it with a workout from week 1. So if you print out the workout calendar for 21 Day Fix real time, it will show you an optional doubles week. So you don't have to do it, but say you wanted to just bump it up a level and you wanted to do 2 workouts, it'll show you. It's going to pair up a leg day and a Pilates, or it's going to pair up different workouts so you're not doing 2 leg days in a row. But it's just a challenge. It's just
okay.
Another way to do it.
I'll look for that.
Yeah. So the second workout is actually from week 1.
And then my other question is I have been posting in different groups and on Facebook and just making comments in general that here lately I've been feeling lightheaded and dizzy. And what was it? Last Friday. Yeah, last Friday morning, I got dizzy and lightheaded, and I don't know what happened. I hit my head on the wall, ended up getting an egg on my forehead. Then that Friday night, I kind of did the same thing, and then I hit my head again. And then Saturday night, I did it again. And I've been hearing comments, and I also mentioned that a little bit ago. My biggest struggle is I'm not getting enough water in. Could not getting enough water in, could that be one of my causes of feeling lightheaded and being dizzy?
It
Do I need
could,
to, is
but
that
honestly,
could be
like
part of that?
it could be, but if it's happening that frequently,
Or
you
is it,
want to talk to the doctor about something going on with your inner ear, because the inner ear causes a lot of dizziness. And I have a friend who's struggling through that right now. So you may want to talk to the doctor about how often it's happening. But yes, water is going to help in a lot of areas, but you might want to talk to your doctor about that one.
like maybe an ear infection or something?
Maybe, or maybe there's something else going on inside the ear that we can't really see, and sometimes they can do like a maneuver to kind of help whatever's going on in your inner ear that would help it, kind of like a chiropractor.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not a doctor, but I would suggest maybe talking to a doctor about seeing it, like a ENT or even your regular PCP, about like maybe there's something else going on.